Setsumetsu Evolution.
Hello everyone, welcome back to T Fighters channel. And before we continue to the video, I wanted to announce that for at least for the next 2 weeks we are unable to make any fight videos because we just have new active COVID cases from 0 to unknown. So until it's safe, we are unable to make any events, so we are unable to meet each other and play. So I hope by then you guys can enjoy this channel with our new temporary, maybe permanent content for Vanguard. Hi, let's continue. So for this video, I wanted to cover about the 6 right lines of Lyrical Monasterio. So basically all the right lines of Lyrical for now, for the first booster and the starter deck. So for the starter deck, we have one right line, which is the Astesice right line, while the booster have 5 different right lines, which is the Lolonero, then Willista, Alestiel, Clarissa, and Feltirosa. So I'll be covering all of those. For Astesice gameplay, it's a multi-attack base deck which revolves around returning your rear guards to hand and call them back. So it's kind of a generic Bermuda Triangle original playstyle, which is from the old DT set. But then for early game, which is during your grade 1 and grade 2 turn, where you ride Kaname and Kiora, you don't need to worry much about your early game because you can rush them during your grade 2 turn, because Kaname just call cards that you discarded by riding, then Kiora can return them back to hand. Sorry, kind of nervous here. It's been a while I didn't make this type of video, so apologies for that. But yeah, you can have the early game advantage, and then during your grade 3 turn, you can play with Ares and Kairi return ability, because Kairi full power you need to Persona Ride, so it's kind of Persona Ride dependent like Magnolia, but there is alright. You have one card that actually search for a copy of the deck, but it has a high cost if I recall correctly. Again, Astesice for a TD build, it's kind of solid in my opinion, aside from it relies on key cards and Persona Ride. I think it's a very good deck. So now I'm gonna move on to the next right line. So next is Arestial. Arestial playstyle is basically a sleight of RNG where you are playing around the black and white wing, but people say it's RNG, but for me, if you're able to shift the gear of the RNG, which is turning the black and white at the right time, it's actually a balance card and you can play around it. But then if you're able to pull off the best card in the deck, which is an AKL, LKL. Yeah, it's LKL, Aerokiel. Some people actually say it's Aerokiel because of the word, but it's LKL, which allows you to play with both of the wings at the same time until end of your opponent's next turn. So that is the best card, but if you put it at the front, your opponent must probably be targeting it. Even if you put it at the back, your opponent must probably targeting it too, because there's no way anyone letting that card bind it. Unless somehow you bind it by your top deck RNG, and again, don't blame the RNG if your black and white wing is bad. I mean, change at the wrong time. So yeah, pulling off Alkiel in the deck is basically the best situation where you could have, like, either you bind her from the top deck or you bind her from rearguard circle by her own effect. It's where Alestiel will be at full power, where the both and black and white wings just shine and gonna hit your opponent hard, because your opponent get minus and your Vanguard get crit and more things happening, like more bonuses. There's too much to specify for the wings, so yeah, I'm just keep it general here. It is a strong RNG deck. I can say strong though. It's depends on the player, so yeah, it's a strong deck. I'm gonna take that statement a bit back. It's a good deck. It's just you need to like control the black and white. Is that like how you manipulate the black and white? It's more into how you actually play around the black and white, because there are times that you cannot change the wings, or maybe your wing doesn't change at all, so you need to play around it carefully. So that is actually a good deck. Alright, let's move to Lolonero, which is the cute cat that sings. So the playstyle is basically you set up order, then you sing with them with Lolonero later turn. So in logic, basically when you're setting up order in your set order, or in your order zone, is basically setting up your playlist to sing for Lolonero. Then later when Lolonero able to sing one song, then the next turn where it says when you able to have two face down card in your set order, you can sing one more. It's basically like viewers like your song, then you want an encore. So yeah, it's a cool kitty playstyle for me. It's cute and creative for Bushiroad to do this, in my opinion. This is like one of my first time knowing that they play this, aside from the Bang Dream back then. I mean, they do sing, but not this way type of sing. So yeah. So during early game, you just set up your playlist book. Then once you go to the grade 3 form, you basically just sing one by one until your turn 4, where you just can sing twice. And then in turn 4 is basically where you want the grade 3 restand order card to activate, because you do Persona Ride, then you sing 2 times, then you have high power rear guard. So yeah, it's a strong early game card, especially when you have the card that gains power when it is called. So if you call them during that turn, then your Lolonero sing the order card. So basically you have at least 3 or 4 for 30 to 40k power up attack. So yeah, it's a very strong deck that requires proper setup. But I think the best card among all of these 6 will be the next one I will be talking about. So that is all for my Lolonero part. So the next right line will be the strongest right line among all of them, in my opinion. The reason why I talk about the strongest right line is because I was following the reveal order among all of them. So it will be Kairi, Celestial, Lolonero, then Felty Rosa, Willista, and Clarissa. So yeah. Alright. Alright, back to the Felty Rosa part. Man, I just spoiled it, but it's alright. Alright, okay. So this is, in my opinion, the strongest right line will be the Felty Rosa right line. So Felty Rosa itself, basically if you draft a normal unit goes, you just call them, then otherwise then goes to hand, which is cool. So how you actually setting up her playstyle, her multi-attack, basically during your battle phase, you try to have your front row cards that are able to empty the front row. Then later, you draft a normal unit, just activate her ability to gain one more drive, so there's more probability of drafting triggers or normal units, but you just need at most 2 normal ghost units, and the rest will be just triggers. So most probably a combination of 2 normal unit and 2 triggers, or a combination of 2 normal unit and 2 normal unit which you don't want, and 2 normal unit, 1 trigger, 1 trigger. It's a probability. So yeah, that is the best case where you draft 2 normal and 2 triggers. Worst case, all of them are normal units, so you done able to draft check them. But for me, the reason it's strong because you have access to 5 attacks early game. The only way for you to shut it down is either multiple trigger damage checks or over trigger. Unless somehow you have until end of turn ability during your opponent's turn, then there is a broken one card then. Yeah, it's definitely a broken card if that card exists. But there is, in my opinion, why Felty Rosa is the strongest for me, because you have access to multi-attack just like that, free. Like, you only pay coin to blast for additional draft check, so if you're unable to pay, just call them and there's the rest of your draft check. So the only consequences is just the draft check part if you don't have coin to blast. So for me, it's really strong and simple. Alright, there's my opinion about Feltiosa. Imagine you have a multi-attack, like free multi-attack. Alright, let's move on to the next right line. The next right line I will be talking about will be Willista. So Willista gameplay is around two different other cards, which are the gem cards, which is called the Ruby and Sapphire respectively. No Pokemon memes please, cause Ruby and Sapphire, if Pokemon fans know, yeah. But then these two other cards, when you play them, they goes to your soul. So when they go to your soul, you can use Willista's ability to soul blast them and unlock certain ability by which card you soul blast. Well, can you use both abilities? Yes, you can, cause they have cards that make you play more than one other cards per turn, which allows you to soul blast both gem cards or soul blast more than one of each gem card in the soul during one turn. So it's kind of strong ability, in my opinion. It is. So for Willista, you just have to make sure that you don't go out of resource before you're able to secure the game. Otherwise, you're just throwing the game by soul blasting them all. The next turn you don't have anything to do. Well, it's true that it's what all decks supposed to do, but yeah, Willista is kind of crucial when you have the gem inside the soul, and you have to make sure those gems are fully utilized. So yeah, that is my opinion on Willista, and that is what I thought about their gameplay. And this I'll be talking about the Dragonroid, which is the last of the 6th right line. Yeah, it's a Dragonroid. Apparently a Dragonroid just become an idol. But yeah, which is Clarissa. Clarissa, what does it do? So basically, Clarissa is playing around 5 different idols, which is the Ernest Korak cards. So with these 5 cards, you are able to play an other card which allows the Vanguard itself to attack 3 units, include the Vanguard. Well, you cannot pick the Vanguard, but why wouldn't you in the first place? But then, attacking 3 units at the same time, if you're letting all of the 3 unit hits, then basically you allow Clarissa to buff your rear guards for every time it hits, and also draw 1. So if 3 attack hits, you draw 3 and give 3 units 5k, or you can just stack at one place. While different others correct, like one of them can stand, one of them can call the other one, and the rest. So the rest actually do utility, and also the other one just power ups for every time Clarissa hits. So the more Clarissa hits, the more bonus they get. Yeah, it's actually strong because you throw 3. Well, the reason why Clarissa have such ability is because it is to make sure to repay all of the setup that you're able to do, especially setting up 5 different Ernest Korak wasn't an easy task in the first place, especially when your opponent does control, so you are unable to consistently have 5 different Ernest Korak if you don't have the right card, especially the card that calls the other Ernest Korak together. So yeah, so Clarissa is a strong card, but you have to make sure the rear guards, which is the different Ernest Korak, are maintained. Like even if they are killed, somehow you're able to recover next turn. Well, it's not somehow, because you have some card that retrieve them back if they are retired, but if that card is retired, then you're kind of screwed, which is one of the first card people gonna target. And again, if you got prison, then cool. As long as they don't play the executioner, then having them freezer is alright. That is what I talk about Clarissa and her gameplay. Now we're moving to one of the interesting topic in Lyrical Monasterio is hybrid Lyrical Monasterio. I will be talking about the Japanese Twitter that I found recently. If you can read Japanese or able to read picture language, then I welcome you to just read it under this description. The link will be in the description if you want to read it by yourself, but I'll be explaining what does the picture do and what does it says. So what does this picture actually mention? So the top left will be the right line, which is the grade 1 and grade 2 will list the right line, while you have Kairi as the leader. Oh, it's surprising, right? But then when I thought of it, I just read the whole description what this person do and everything makes sense. So the square there are your soul chargers. The ruby card is helping you to put more cards in soul, and the grade 2 also help you to put more cards in soul. Then the Kairi is there for a specific combo. Then the one at the right there, at the right square, basically the top card will be the ghost, plus with the Ares and Shia. Shia is played. Yeah, surprisingly Shia is played. Why people doesn't like Shia is because the people doesn't like the RNG based card. But then when you play with these cards, strong, very strong. So the top card are the ghost cards, where you put them to soul or make them disappear from Regat Circle, which making full use of Ares and Kairi. So the cards there, Annalise, Ingrid, and Eleanor are the representative from the ghosts, while the bottom card will be Ares and Shia. So these are the cards that are necessary, but in my opinion, Annalise and Ingrid is not 100% necessary in the full combo, because this is the combo picture. So for the first attack, you go for Eleanor and activate her soul plus 2. She gain power and then put the top deck. I will make the soul count in the video, so pay attention to the number of souls that you actually need. Then you use Ares to call Shia, and then Shia's ability calling back Eleanor. Then Eleanor attack, use her ability again, put her to the top deck. Then Kairi attacks, return Shia and Eleanor and call them back. So with Shia's ability, you call Eleanor back. Then again, after Kairi twin drive, like end of Kairi's battle, use Eleanor attacks, then use Ares to call either Shia or any random card, because that will be your last attack in the combo. So that's all lyrical stuff that I wanted to share, the gameplay and playstyle of every 6, and also the potential hybrid coming from Japanese. I will share more if there's more. And for next week's stream, they also reveal the LSR, but I will not cover the LSR part, but they will reveal Magnolia and Prison support. So I'm actually excited for Magnolia and Prison, especially when I actually play Magnolia. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I hope everyone is doing well, and we will work hard so someday we can meet you all in person. So yeah, see you guys, like and subscribe, and see you on next video.